Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Carter, and welcome to tonight's Q&A training. I'm actually doing this Q&A for a couple of reasons. Number one is I wanted to be able to just connect with you guys who are on my email list. For those of you who went to my website and put in your email address because maybe you want to learn how to master recruiting inside of your existing home-based business. I wanted to do this Q&A, probably lasts about an hour, just depends on how many questions I get. But wanted to just really be able to connect with you guys and really be a source of support for all of you. A source of support for all of you guys, because I know what I've been seeing in the marketplace is a lack of clarity from a lot of people that are in the home-based business industry, not really knowing how to take their business to the next level, not knowing, if they're in the right company, if they're making the right decisions, how to approach their marketing. There's so many different things that people are lacking clarity on. And so I just wanted to, on tonight, do just a simple Q&A chat with you. So if you have any questions on building a home-based business, if you have any questions on team building, recruiting, motivating yourself to take action, anything related to building a home-based business, you can go ahead and put your question in the comment section below this video. And I will be checking periodically for any questions that I may get. So feel free to ask any questions that you have in the comment section below this particular video. What I'm going to do is I just in case, as you guys are hopping on and submitting your questions, I had some things that I wanted to talk about. And then just feel free, even as I'm talking, to post your questions. So one of the things that I'll just cover some things that well, first I'll cover some top recruiting tips, some things that I've seen that help me, really grow and become a top recruiter in my business. But then I'll also talk about some things of kind of where my business is going. Just being transparent, like I said, this is really just for me to connect with you guys and show you kind of where I'm at in my business and what I'm doing right now, what I'm working on, and mistakes that I've made and things that I've learned and things that I'm moving forward with. So I want to share with you guys, just to kind of get us started off here, 6 of my top recruiting tips. And then as you guys are submitting your questions, I'll go ahead and answer those as they come in. So my number one, or I'll just say recruiting tip number one, and these are not in any particular order, is you want to find people. This is from a recruitment standpoint. You want to find people who are just as passionate about your vision and about the vision that you have for the future team that you will have as you are. So you want to recruit people who are in alignment with where you want to go and alignment with your vision. And you want to find like-minded people who want to make the impact and the change that you want to make, and especially in the company that you're in. And that's important. It's critical. I look at team building and recruiting a little bit differently than I guess most people in this industry, not just recruiting just anybody. You want serious people, but just serious people who are in alignment with what you would like to do for your team. And that's what's so great about building a business and about recruiting is you get to determine who you want to work with and who you want to work with. And I'm just saying, for all of you that are tuning in, you can be selective about who you recruit, and you can really get clear on what is it that they want to do, what's really motivating them to build this business, and how do they want to impact and change lives, because that's going to be the key in any business, is you being able to now serve other people and help someone else solve their problem or need. So you want to make sure that you're bringing people on board in your team who, sees the same thing that you see in terms of the vision that you have for the future team that you want to have. You may not know yet what your vision is for your future team or what you want to accomplish, but as you get clear, as you start recruiting and bringing more people on board, and as you get clear on what you want and what your strengths are and what you want to see change in your particular industry or in your company, you can now start really honing in on the vision and the mission that your team has, and now really making sure that you bring people on board who fit within that vision and mission. Another recruiting tip that I have is you want to pick a target market of people who are close to joining or buying. It makes recruiting a lot easier. I was someone who never liked sales, who never thought of myself as a strong salesperson. So I used and I leveraged marketing to be able to get myself in front of the right people so that now sales becomes easier. So you want to find people who are already thinking about getting started in your home-based business, who are already thinking about joining your company. So they may be looking for reviews on your company, or they may be looking for reviews on your particular product. So you want to aim for someone who's really, really close and thinking about joining, and start marketing to that person first, because they're going to be the easiest to now bring into your business. So that's recruiting tip number 2. Pick a target market of people who are close to joining or buying. And I'm just sharing some tips. So as you guys are hopping on, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, or you want any guidance on in terms of building your business, in terms of recruiting, team building, motivating yourself to take action, feel free to put your question in the comment section below this video, and I'll be checking periodically. So submit any questions that you have. I'm here to help in any way, to assist you on your journey of building a home-based business. So as I'm just sharing some tips, if you have any questions that you want, maybe it's a marketing question, a recruiting question, put it in the comment section below this video. So here's the other thing in terms of recruiting that I've seen that have helped me a lot in terms of getting results, is you want to make sure that whatever you're saying in your marketing, that you can back it up with any kind of proof or proof of results. What I mean by this is you got to remember that you're trying to build trust with people. So if you are, especially if you're marketing online, you're talking to people who are cold to you, like they don't know you. They may have never met you before. They're essentially a stranger, and they're taking a look at you in your video or in your blog post, trying to see, okay, I don't know, can I believe this person? And you have to be aware of that. Just like you may be skeptical, as you're going online and as you're watching people's videos, are they really telling me the truth? You got to remember that on the other side of your video is someone who's asking the same question of you, right? So I'm very aware of that. And I think in my marketing, what I try to do is I give proof of results. So if I say, hey, look, this can help you do X, Y, and Z, I show proof of it. And it's helped me a lot in my marketing. So for you, even if you're brand new and you're just starting and you're like, I don't have a lot of results, especially when it comes to maybe the business, you can leverage the results of other people on your team and say, hey, look, our system, our training that our company has works. See, look at this person and that person. But just remember to show proof. I think I see a lot of people who are marketing, even like products, and they just naturally assume, I think, that just by their enthusiasm and their excitement, that people are just going to believe what they say. And that's not the case, especially when you're dealing with a cold market, especially when you're dealing with people who this is their first time interacting with you and they're a complete stranger. So the more that you can do to back up what you say, it helps. I was talking to one of my new customers who just got started in a Power Network, and she's, building a home-based business. She's like, I've seen a Power Network so many times, but she was like, I just never understood how it could work for me. Like, I didn't think that it would actually work for my business, but it wasn't until I came across your videos, Angela, where you broke it down and you showed proof that the products and the training was working, and you showed proof of it. She's like, it wasn't until then that I said, okay, you know what? Yeah, let me get started. So you may have people who are looking at your company or checking out what you're doing, and they're like, I don't know if the products really work, or I don't know if the business is for me. And you could just stand out by just sharing proof, sharing some level of results. I was working with a woman who she was in It Works, I believe. Yeah, that company, It Works. And she got started in Empower with me, and she was like, Angela, the reason why she got started is because she was trying to sell the wraps. I think it was like the wraps that It Works has. They have these like weight loss garment wraps, and they sell other stuff too. But she was saying how she kept getting asked the question, like, will the weight, if I use this wrap to lose weight, will the weight come back on? And I said, and she's like, I'm just frustrated. I just want to, talk to people who they're not skeptical. They just want to try it. And I said, you got to look at it differently. You got to take what other people, a lot of marketers or recruiters take as objections, as really like a positive thing, because now what someone's telling you is, you haven't convinced me. And they're bold enough to tell you, hey, I'm not convinced. And what they're saying is that your marketing is weak in that area, or you need to show more proof of that. And I told her she should get excited, because now she could blog, she could do a video talking about and sharing the success stories of people who lost weight and kept it off. And just that one tweak will make a difference in her conversions of getting more sales. So what I'm saying is this: there are going to be a lot of questions that maybe people may ask of you, and you may look at them as objections. They may say, well, I saw the business, but I just don't know if I have enough time. what they're saying to you is there is something that you presented to them that made them think like, oh my gosh, this is going to be very time consuming and I don't have time for that. So now you can get excited and say, you know what? Okay, now I have to, in my marketing, in my content, with my videos, with my blogs, show people how they can build this kind of business even with limited time. So they're actually helping you sell them. And if they are already convinced, like, no, I don't want to do it, you now know moving forward, there are going to be other people who have just the same amount of concerns. So I'm big on showing proof. I'm big on, look, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'll show you results of it. And that has helped me a lot in my marketing, where there's people who have been skeptical of what, you know, my company offers. And yet when they come across my videos, they're like, okay, you're the first person who actually like showed proof that you weren't just talking and, you know, being a hype person. And that's what I want you guys to get is, you know, that's the power of content marketing, is you can show proof. You can show people, hey, look, you know, this product has helped this person, you know, lose weight, or, you know, if you're marketing, you know, makeup, you know, this is the difference. And this is, you know, here's, you know, makeup brand A, and this is our company's makeup, and show the difference. Like, you can show and demonstrate and prove that what you have works for people. So that's recruiting tip number 3 is everything you say in your marketing, ask yourself, have I proven it, or am I just saying it? Right? Am I just saying it, or have I proven it? Have I gave proof? Have I demonstrated that? And I think when I got involved in marketing, it just kind of made sense to me, because those of you who don't know, my background is in law. I was a licensed attorney, and you know, law is all about proving your claims, proving your arguments. You can't just say stuff. And online, especially with marketing, and especially in our industry with network marketing, there's a lot of people going around saying stuff, you know, and making promises, and they're not showing proof of like, hey, is this really true? And I think I got it. I understood it just because of my background and the career that I had before. So just keep that in mind. And again, for those of you hopping on now, be sure to, if you have any questions, I'm about to check now and see if I have any questions. If you have any questions on recruiting, building a home-based business, team building, submit your question in the comment section below this video. So I'm going to check now and see if I have any questions. And like I said, tonight is not going to be any, you know, any pitch or anything like that. It's just straight Q&A, me connecting with you and getting any of your biggest questions answered. So, all right. So as the questions are coming in, I'll keep sharing some recruiting tips with you. So recruiting tip number 4, and this is kind of similar to what I was talking about, but share your results. Share your specific results that you're getting in your business. A lot of times people don't do it because they feel like they haven't, you know, gotten enough sales, or they haven't made enough money yet. But one of the things you have to realize is that any result is a result. So if you have just gotten started in your business and you are consistently building your business, and maybe you know, have children and you have limited time, or you have a full-time job, a result could be, hey, look, here's how I, you know, marketed my business this week with a full-time schedule and a full-time job. And you can now share that in your videos, in your blog posts, in your online marketing to someone who's thinking about getting started in your business, and show them that, hey, look, here's how I'm just even building my business. Here's how I'm structuring my time. So even before they join, they're getting tips, they're getting value from you, and they're connecting with you because now you're showing them how to have success even before they join. And that makes a big difference in people wanting to now join you in your business. When they say like, hey, you were willing to sit down and talk to me and give me some advice even before I joined, before I even gave you any money, you know what? Yeah, I want to join with you. So share any result that you got. It could be you got 10 leads today, 10 leads this week, 10 people requesting more information about your business or about your product or service. It could be that you got your first sale. Share that result. It's not too little, because what it is it's showing people, hey, I've gotten some level of result in my business. And what you'll realize is that as you keep sharing each result that you get, you'll get an even bigger result. So that was one of the biggest things that even with the Power Networks training, I never knew. I never, you know, like when I got started in this industry, some of you guys may have remembered from my videos, I struggled for 2 years and I only recruited 5 people in 2 years. But if I had have known what I had learned in the Power training, that I could have just taken that small result of recruiting 5 people in 2 years, or even just 5 people, and talked about it, did videos, did blog posts on it, I would have succeeded. Just you know, from sharing that, but no one taught me that. No one taught me that, hey, oh, I should be sharing, I should be sharing my results that I'm getting in my business. I should be sharing what I know about building a business. Like even before I even got my first recruit, I could have taken a training that was on a company call or in the company back office, did a video, did a blog post on it in front of people who are thinking about joining my company and saying, hey, look, I was just on a training call in my company and they share this, and this. You know, if you get started, you're actually going to get real training. Like people are actually going to help you. Just doing that would have helped me. But again, I did not know what I did not know. So share any result that you have. You know, I have a lot of customers who they have been successful in building their home-based business offline. So they've done home parties or you know, they've done like smaller events or they've been successful with their warm market. And they're like, you know, I'm thinking about going online. I'm like, you could talk about what you did offline online. And they're like, huh? I said, you can actually share. You can actually share if you've been really great at doing home parties and you like doing home parties, you could get online and do a video and do a blog post on how you're building your business successfully with home parties, how you're getting results. And if anybody join your team, they can now learn how to do it. So I think a lot of offline people don't get that they can come online and share the results that they're getting online to get more people on their team, if that makes sense. And a lot of people don't get that. So when they hear that, they're like, I never thought about that. I was like, yeah, you could talk about that. You could talk about that. I had a guy, Christopher Wright, who was an offline guy, was really good. He was a health and wellness company and he was getting sales for his products offline. And he started working with me and he was like, I can't figure out this online thing, Angela. I started creating my own websites, my own, you know, he had his own pages and he could not get a sale online. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I looked at his website and immediately I knew what he was doing wrong. He was asking for so much information from people on one page. And I said, look, you got to change this. And so I told him, hey, make those changes. And then the next day I get a message on Facebook. He's like, I got my first sale already, Angela. He got his first sale online just from a couple of changes. And then during that conversation, I was telling him, hey, look, you're really great offline. Like he had no fear of sales and talking to people. So I said, you need to go online and talk about what you're doing offline. Talk about sales, talk about what you are great at in your business. A lot of people get intimidated about online marketing because they feel like, oh my gosh, it's so new. It's so different, right, from what they're used to. And I said, well, what aspect of your business do you like? What aspect of your business have you gotten down that you enjoy? And you can start sharing that online. So that's another thing that I wanted to just share with you guys is share any level of result that you are getting. So this is a Q&A. So if you have any questions that you have for me about building a home-based business, about recruiting, about team building, go ahead and submit your question in the comment section below this video. I'm going to check now and see if I have any questions here. But go ahead and submit any questions that you have about recruiting, marketing, time management, motivating yourself to take action, anything along those lines. Submit. I am here to answer them and get your questions addressed. So I'll keep giving some tips here. So as you are submitting your questions, I'll keep checking periodically. So I've already shared 4 recruiting tips. Recruiting tip number 5 is own your value. That kind of leads into what I was just talking about. Own your value, own your expertise, own what you do know. I think people take for granted what they do know. You know, if you are someone who you've been in your company for a while and maybe you haven't gotten any results, or maybe you've gotten a little bit results and you want to get more, don't discount the fact that you know a lot about your company. You know more about your company than a new person or a person even thinking about joining. And the key is just now sharing even what you do know already. You may know the product line. You may know about how to make an initial contact with someone. You may know what the company stands for, what the company is about. You may know and use the products and how it can actually help people. You may know how to help people select the right product. There's so many things that you do know that if you share it more in your marketing, if you share it online, if you have a platform to share it on, that will make even a big difference in your ability to recruit people into your business, because now they see you as someone who has a little bit more knowledge and expertise than they do. So own your expertise, own your knowledge, own what you do know, own your value. So recruiting tip, what is this? Number 6 is boost your confidence. What do you know, or what are you great at outside of this industry? So outside of the home-based business industry, let's forget that. Let's forget the home-based business industry. Let's forget network marketing, direct sales. Let's forget all of that. What do you know outside of this industry? You know, what was your background? I told you mine was in law, but what was your background, or what are you currently doing now for full-time work? And what skills have you picked up on? What skills have you mastered? Because I'm asking you this because you can actually bring that knowledge into your home-based business and still succeed with it. So are you someone who's great at just organizing things? Maybe the job that you have now, you have to, you know, you're over organization and administration. The key is now you could take that and use that in your business. You know, building a business takes a lot of organization and structure, organizing your time, organizing, you know, the training that you listen to, organizing, you know, any kind of administrative or paperwork or appointments. Organizing it plays a big role in building a successful business, and you can now bring that into your business and as a advantage of people with joining you, because you can say, hey, look, you know, I have a system for helping people get organized. If you're someone who, you know, one of the biggest, you know, fears you have about starting a home-based business is like, how am I going to organize my time? How am I going to manage my time? How am I going to, you know, get things set up the right way? You could now bring that in to your business now and start doing videos, start doing blog posts, just sharing how you organize. How are you organizing, you know, your business? How are you organizing your time and the materials and the, you know, whatever it is that you have, the products that you have, the inventory that you have? How are you doing that? Because you can now leverage that, own that. People will now maybe sign up with you just because of the fact that, you know, you're more organized than they are. And that's the thing that they were kind of afraid of getting started in a home-based business, because they maybe lack organizational skills. So I'm just saying, own what you do know, own what you're already great at, own the experience and the expertise that you already have that may have came from outside of this industry. Are you great at teaching? Are you great at explaining things? That kind of deals with my area of strength. And I've built it and I've used it to my advantage. I've leveraged it in my marketing because I realized for a new person or someone who, you know, has been in the business for a while, or they're just getting started with me in the business, they may not know or understand, like, I don't get it. I don't understand marketing. I don't understand recruiting. So I've used it to my advantage. And now for you, if you're great at explaining things, or you like teaching, you like training, you can do that in your business, and you can do that in your marketing. You could do a video, you could do a blog post explaining the compensation plan that your company has for someone who may be thinking about joining, maybe already Googling and going on Google, typing in, you know, the name of your company and compensation plan, because they want to know before they join, how do you make money? And you could do a video, you could do a blog post explaining that to people. And now you're using your strength. You're using what you're already great at to build your business. Maybe you're great at managing money. You know, one of the main reasons why people start a business is to make money. And if you're someone who you're good at managing the money that you make or the money that you have, you can now talk about that in your videos, in your blog posts, in your business, to now bring people in, and they just start seeing you as someone of value, as someone that's resourceful, as someone that, hey, if I sign up with you, I'm not only going to get a mentor in this business, but I'll get a mentor with finances. So it's all about leveraging the expertise and leveraging the information and the knowledge that you already have. So I'm going to pause here and see if I have any questions. And go ahead, if you have any questions on home-based business, recruiting, any of that, go ahead and put that in the comment section below this video. Okay, so any questions that you have, feel free to submit them in the comment section below this video. So you'll see it all the way. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see it right below the video. Any questions that you have on recruiting, team building. So as those questions are coming in, I will continue on. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is just really being kind of transparent, share with you guys where I'm at in my business and kind of where I'm going and what I'm focusing on now. Like, what is Angela learning now? What is my focus in terms of building my business? Well, right now, I'm one of the top 10 recruiters for the past 6 months inside of my entire company. And so I've really mastered recruiting. And what you'll realize is as you grow a home-based business, there's certain skills that you have to master. So in the beginning, it's mastering yourself. How do you get yourself to take action? How do you get yourself to manage your time so that now you start building your business? And then now, as you start building your business, the next skill will be mastering getting in front of a lot of people, making contacts with people. Now, I teach people how to do it online, but it's making connections and connecting with people who are going to be most likely to join your business or buy your company's products. So the next skill is just massive exposure, getting in front of a lot of targeted people. The next skill is now that you're in front of them, learning how to now have them be interested enough to now take a look at more information about your product or service or about your home-based business. So that's lead generation is what we call it. Then once you've mastered lead generation, it's now mastering presenting. It's now getting your prospect to now watch or listen to a presentation about your company's products or the business opportunity. And then the next skill is now following up and closing that person on a decision of whether or not they want to join your company or buy your product or service. And then now what will happen is you've mastered those skill sets and you will become a master recruiter. You'll start recruiting people. Right now, even with me, it's like one person a day inside of my business. And that's how I became one of the top recruiters. Well, now you'll start naturally having a big team. And then now you have to master duplication. You have to master duplication. And then after mastering duplication, you master leadership development. How do you now they have people duplicating and now becoming top recruiters, they'll have their own team. So then now you have to master leadership development, helping them now have duplication in their teams. Does that make sense? So you're mastering one skill at a time. And I can tell you for me now, I'm really focused on team building and leadership. So I have been really focusing on Empower Network has a product called the Team Building Formula. So that's what I'm going through now and really digging through and really trying to figure out, some nuggets that I can pull from that particular product to help me build my team. But I'm also reading books on leadership. So I'm reading John C. Maxwell's book on the 5 levels of leadership and also the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. So that's what I'm reading now, just to keep learning and keep investing so that now I can master that skill. And then now I'll go into the next skill of leadership development. So I just wanted to share with you guys that this journey of home business success is really marked by you developing the skills, you developing the skill set and mastering each skill that comes with each level. And now really pouring into yourself, investing in your training and getting that support so that now you don't stay at that level for, too long, but you now have the support you need to now get to the next level and just focus on mastering one skill at a time. But I just wanted to share with you guys, that's kind of what I'm focused on now. Is really, developing a solid team vision and mission. And now really focusing on recruiting more people who are in alignment with that vision and with that mission. So the tip that I can share with you that just from my experience now of getting into team building and leadership is, like I mentioned earlier, make sure that you're not just recruiting just to recruit, but you're recruiting people who fall into alignment with what your team is going to be passionate about, the impact that your team will have, and really finding people who are in alignment with that, who will fit within your culture, because every team has a culture. The team that you're on right now, your uplines team, there's a culture, whether or not they defined it or not, whether or not they were aware of it or not, there's a certain culture that leader has created. So you want to make sure that you're recruiting people who will fit within that culture. So I'll give you an example, kind of how I'm approaching it moving forward with me and with my team is because I'm actually building my own team in addition to having customers who are, in an existing business and they just want to use Empower's training to grow their business. But I actually have my own team. So I'm not like a lot of marketers who like my business is like, talking to other people who have businesses. I have my own business in addition to now servicing customers who have their business too, because I believe it's important that if I'm going to be teaching other people and guiding people through Empower's training on how to now grow their existing home-based business, I better have my own business as well, right? To be in integrity and to be able to help them as well. So that's why. But I have my own team. So one of the things I'm really focused on is, you know, what type of impact do I want to have in the lives of the people that are on my team that I recruit? And what are my strengths? And what is the vision that I have? Like, what would be the team that I would always have wanted to be a part of? And for me, I'm really big on people having the skills they need to succeed. So my culture is going to be one of excellence in terms of people wanting to get better at what it is that they do. So wanting to get better at marketing, wanting to get better at team building and leadership. So there's going to be a focus on, you know, equipping people with the training and the education and resources they need. So I say all that to say, my ideal team member would be someone who they're really passionate about that. Like, they want to be great at what they do. And it matters to them that they have the training they need to get results. So I'm going to be in my marketing as I'm, you know, recruiting people, talking about that, talking and mentioning about the fact that, you know, the training that my team has, because I'm trying to call forth those people who see the value of it. Does that make sense? So just for you as a leader, I know this, we're talking about recruiting. Think about as you move forward, as you start recruiting more and more people, start thinking about, you know, what your strengths are. And you might not know it yet. You'll learn as you go along. You'll start realizing why people started signing up with you, and you can ask them. That's what I did. So I'll ask people, hey, why did you join me? And then they'll tell me, and it made me realize, okay, that's what they get value from. That's what they see as the value of joining someone like me. Okay, that's what I want to now really highlight for people, that if you join me, this is the difference that you get. And then now, as you start recruiting people and you start asking them, hey, what was it about me that made you join me? That's like the thing that makes you stand out. And as you start talking about it, as you start bringing more of that into the culture of your team, that's when you're really going to be more fulfilled, and the people that join you are going to be happy and actually stick around. So a lot of this may sound like, hey, this sounds like corporate America, like culture and vision and mission, but it really is. It's organization. You got to find people who are passionate about the vision that you have, and they have the same, they have a like mind as you, and they love the way that, you know, your leadership style, your structure. You want to find people who would gravitate towards that. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. I'm just kind of give you guys insider knowledge, but enough of me talking at you. What questions do any of you have about recruiting or team building? Go ahead and put your question in the comment section below this video. And then if I don't get any more questions, I am going to wrap this up here in the next probably 5 minutes. But I hope that helps. So, you know, leave a comment, let me know if that has helped in terms of, you know, the right approach to team building and recruiting. The other thing that I want to talk about in terms of, you know, being in alignment, having team members who are in alignment with what your vision is for your future team or the team that you're currently building, is you want to make sure that you're in alignment with the company that you're in, that you're in alignment with the vision of the company. So one of the questions that you want to ask is, does the vision of the company fit your vision? You know, are you clear on what type of impact you want to have in the world and on people? And does the company that you are now a part of, are they on a mission in that same area? So I'll give you an example. If I was someone who was very passionate about health and wellness, and I really, you know, was like really hated the trend of, you know, obesity in this country and just people eating unhealthy foods, then it would make sense for me to partner with a company that said that their vision, their mission is to fight obesity. And they're about educating. And if I'm passionate about educating and teaching and training, then it would make sense for me to be in a company that would also be passionate about educating their customers on maybe the right foods to eat or whatever. I'm not in a health and wellness company, but I'm just giving it as an example. So you want to make sure that whatever company that you join, that you're in alignment, that the impact that they want to have, the people that they want to help and how they want to help them are in alignment with what you are actually passionate about. That something that motivates you. The other thing is you want to see if your values match up with the values of the company. So what's important to you in terms of how business is done? If you're about, you know what, I'm all about service. I really am all about, you know, making sure that people, you know, get results and get the proper help and the tools and the support that they need. Then you need to now look at your company and say, do they have that same value? Because if they don't, if the company doesn't, then now you're going to be out of alignment, and you're not going to be happy and fulfilled in that company. And it's just like a job. You know, when we went and we looked for jobs, or we looked for an employer, these are some of the things that we should have asked, or, you know, I don't know if you asked. I know I didn't when I first got started, because I didn't know this stuff. But you want to find companies that are in alignment with what you want to do, and they are in alignment with how you do it. And that applies to not only the job search, but it also applies to you finding what company you want to align yourself with inside of a home-based business. So just wanted to share that with you. And I'm going to check one final time if I have any questions. And if I don't, then we're going to go ahead and end the call in the Hangout for tonight. Oh, let me see if I have any questions here. So final call for any Q&A, any questions that you have on recruiting or building a home-based business. Okay, look like I don't have any questions here. So I just want to thank all of you guys that hopped on for tonight's Q&A session. Some of you were quiet, didn't have any questions, but maybe my recruiting tips were that helpful, where you said, oh, I don't have any questions. That answered it. So I'll be doing these periodically, but I also do these for people that work with me inside of Empower Network. So for my customers, I do a weekly Q&A and training to engage and connect with them and get their questions answered. So as they're marketing online, and maybe they run into a challenge, or they want me to review their marketing, I do some similar fashion of this and with my customers. But I just wanted to do this for those of you who are on my email list, just letting you know I appreciate you. I appreciate you, you know, getting on my list. I appreciate you opening my emails, and really wanted to let you know that there's real flesh and blood behind the emails. It's a real human being. I'm not a robot. I'm a real person sending those emails. And my goal and my intention is to help you succeed, no matter what company, what business that you are promoting. And I hope tonight's training really gave you some new ahas, some new breakthroughs about how you can really start succeeding inside of your business and start mastering recruiting. So with that being said, I am going to sign off for tonight. Have an amazing night. Bye.